Alrighty, my friends, it is Friday, September 12th, and it got real quiet, right? It was real loud, now it's real quiet. And that's a surprise to no one. Just as quickly as they ran out to their cars and living rooms to declare open season on the left and on the radicals, the White House itself, members of Congress, all running in front of cameras to immediately vilify an entire party as all of them responsible for this thing with no information. Like how Utah, it was Utah. How we got the HBCUs got called. No information. They were open season. Now that it's one of them, now that it's a nice little conservative Mormon boy who was just introduced at heavy artillery at a young age and must just be mentally ill, the one in a million that they all seem to be. Now it's piped down about the death squad, piped down about the open season, piped down about how all the radical left are the violent ones and they're the only violent ones. Okay, now it's back to thoughts and prayers. Okay, and let's go easy on him, all right? The victim himself would have wanted us to go easy on this guy, okay? Just like that. Not a surprise to us, but yeah, quiet now. See how quick they got into a frenzy? And the same ones that got into a frenzy are now running around going, well, you see how we didn't ride and loot? You see how we didn't ride? I mean, let's be real. Half of y'all went outside to go have vigils that were just Triple K meetings, and then the rest of you took to the internet to make an actual hit list of people that you could dox and go find and hunt down in real life. So, I mean, maybe grabbing some sneakers from Target would be the better option out of those two, but glad you're proud of the fact that, yes, you guys use any excuse to get nasty and start talking about everyone they want to take. Like, all it takes is, they had no proof. They had nothing. Literally nothing. And they were ready. They were out with pitchforks and tiki. They were ready at the tip of a hat. And yes, we know that's why they did it. And yes, there's probably multiple reasons, right? Because yes, I know about the files, and yes, he was talking about that. I know about the Izzy connections and how they weren't happy with him either. I see how giving the meat to a little bit of the core base does a little something for them as well, as though it's falling apart, and they're about to circle right back around to those files, darling, because that Yahoo dump that Bloomberg got of all those emails proving that the Max machine, you know the lady I'm talking about. I mean, it's not really a surprise. She lied under oath. Shocker. Nobody knew that. Yeah, no, she lied again. Duh. But also, I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot in those emails. There is a lot. So that is going to circle back, and I'm wondering how long it takes before some of what's left of that cult starts pointing their little lasers in the direction closer to the people responsible for whatever happened to their little idol here. And speaking of their idol, I just want to say how disappointed I am and how many of you were shocked and shooketh and how many roaches were still under the blankets on this. Like, I know we're used to looking at the obvious MooGAs that make it very loud and proud, but the amount of folks who didn't realize they're surrounded by people who support that level of rhetoric and are willing to, it's not that bad. It's, he's a pillar of our faith. Yeah, maybe I didn't believe in everything. I didn't agree with all of it. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Just like you didn't vote for this for the cheese and the gas prices. Okay, we're not doing this. I didn't agree. Yes, you did. If you are climbing to the top of a mountain of almost literal bodies of the young, okay, because these are folks that have nothing to say when it's a school event. A school event happened the same day, next spot over, all right, and not a peep from any of them about that. They didn't care about none of those. Literally crawling to a top of a pile of bodies from overseas, from here, from the civilians we took out in the boat for no reason, like just all of that, so they can stand up there and go, wait. Yes, we're the moral superior. You guys need to have empathy for our fallen God. Yeah, how could you? You're despicable. And yes, some of you got it on the head. They don't know what to do now that for the very first time, they're really seeing a chunk of people, including a chunk of their own people, reacting the way that they usually react when it's anybody but them. Okay? If it was us, if it was one of us that got popped yesterday, there would not a one of them would care. There would be no calls for empathy and respect for the family. There would be endless talk about how more of us need to go that way. And everyone would just laugh and joke and say, ha, 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 and we just take it because we're used to it. Our leaders get taken out all the time, and they just make up excuses for why it's okay and why we should get over it and why it wasn't like that. And what about that over there? And what about black on black crime? You know, their favorite things, everything except just owning it, right? So like, oh my gosh. So this is just another, for the first time, they're watching a chunk of their own community have that type of apathy towards their own. And they're like, wait a minute. No, hold on. You guys are supposed to care. This is one of us. This is supposed to trump everything else. This is supposed to be on top of everything else is this. And you're saying this isn't overriding the fact of everything that person stood for. You're not going to mourn. You're not going to do that morality dig that only seems to be required when it's someone awful that goes, and so we got to dig for their values, which are usually like very basic things. He was a husband. Like, oh no, that's something that's a hard thing to do. What is that? $20 and a short wait at the office. Like, oh, they were a husband. They were a father. Oh, what did that take? 2 seconds of spooging? Like, oh, what an accomplishment. Like, come on. If that's all you got, if the accomplishments you got are the bare minimum, that's what you got. That not you brought peace on earth and you helped people. You spread a whole lot of awful rhetoric that people, for the most part, are embarrassed to even acknowledge when they say they don't agree with everything. They do it. They agree with exactly that. But they're pretending it's not that because they know better. They're hiding behind the flag and the cross, and they've got the White House encouraging it with the maybe we should put up a statue. Maybe we should, forget 9/11. Put him up for a day. Let's honor him. Like, he's not even a politician. He's not a military. He's a nobody. He's a podcaster. They did it to rile up their own people because they were not getting us in the streets. We were not coming outside. We're still not coming outside. So they fed their own people who were immediately outside without even any information. They were outside with torches with no information. And now that they know that their fight back is against Tyler, which is any one of them, now it's, well, okay. Let's pray for this troubled youth, because it's just a one lone troubled youth again. That's the culture. That is the culture. These are the defenders of women and children. Okay, these. All right, including all the women, all the moms that you saw crawling out from under their caves right now to defend this alongside their husbands. You need to watch out for them too. Every single person that identified themselves, you need to watch out, especially if you have kids. Like, they should not be just hanging out over there, okay? And I live around a bunch of them. Let me tell you, these people love procreating and they love decorating to bring over other people. They love social events filled with children. They love child-themed activities, and it's creepy. It's very, very creepy, especially when you know what they're into. As a culture in general. So yeah, we will see what else is going to happen, because there's a lot going on. There's a lot of pieces flying. I don't think the MooGAs are going to be able to chomp on it for too much longer, since it's one of them. And the next thing for them to chomp on is back to those files, those emails, those pictures, those cards, those lists. And yes, I did see about the frozen water and how they took out a person in Chicago. And so here we go. I'm waiting for more information, because their side of the story doesn't mean anything to me. What the mainstream said means nothing to me. I want to see video from someone who was there, and you know what I'm saying? I need it to be backed up by someone other than who's in on the scheme, because if that person was a regular citizen that they were just harassing, like a lot of them have been, I mean, this, buckle up, Buttercup, okay? The bumpy part is starting, and you know what? It's inevitable. So just get prepared for what you're going to do and which side you're on, not if you can stop it. It's inevitable. And we need it. We do.